be worried, be careful, and get prepared. I hope I mean, a lot of people are not going to survive, Dave. I hope I survive. I'm sure you'll survive. I hope we all survive, but it's only going to be the ones who understand what's happening and are prepared who are going to survive. That's true of all big bear markets, but the next one is going to be really big, so be worried. Now, Washington says we're not going to have any more bear markets, so you don't have to worry about it anymore. So if you believe Ivy League educated government employees, don't listen to me, because Janet Yellen, who's the Secretary of the Treasury, says no more bear markets. I've been around longer, a long time, and I have read about what's happened in history, and we've always had bear markets, and we always will have them, and the debt is staggering times more than it was in 2008, 2009. So the next bear market has to be the worst in my lifetime. I'm not trying to scare people. I'm just making a simple statement of fact, like saying the next time we have a hurricane, it's going to be bad. Well, the next time we have a bear market, it's going to be horrific because there's so much debt. When is it going to be? I don't know. Watch GoldCore TV. They'll tell you. I would suspect it's certainly going to be the longest in my lifetime. That probably means the decline will be the worst in my lifetime. You know, always in bear markets before, there are many stocks that go down 80 or 90%, which is pretty bad if you own them. And that hits a lot of people. There are always some stocks that only go down 50 or 60%. But I would suspect that the next time it's going to be really horrendous because there's so much, not so much, just so much debt in the world, but many companies have huge debt on their balance sheets. And in bear markets, people notice things like that and get scared. Well, it's usually something that surprises. Actually, the way these things work is something happens someplace that we're not looking at. You know, Ireland goes bankrupt. I'm not suggesting that will happen, but I'm just saying, you know, in 2007, in fact, it was Iceland. Most people didn't know there was an Iceland, much less that it could go bankrupt. And then a few weeks later, there was another one, and then Bear Stearns, and then another one in what was that bank? Northern Rock in England. Then a few weeks later, there was Lehman Brothers. By then, it was on the evening news. It had started a year before in Iceland, of all places, and that's the way these things work. Well, whenever there's turmoil, historically people look for a safe haven, and traditionally, many people think the U.S. dollar is a safe haven. It's not. America's the largest debtor nation in world history now, but people think it is, so I still own U.S. dollars. When the U.S. dollar has its last big rally, my plan, who knows, is to sell it, and then I'll have to put my money somewhere else. I don't know where at the moment, and I don't even know if that's how it's going to work out. But, you know, I don't see any way that the U.S. can continue to build up gigantic debts and continue as the world's reserve currency. No currency has lasted more than 100, 150 years as the world's international currency. The U.S. has been around a long time. There are many fundamental reasons that it's going to change. You know, the world's reserve currency is supposed to be neutral, that you can use, anybody can use it at any time, but it doesn't. Washington doesn't play that way anymore. If Washington gets angry at you, they put sanctions on you, and you cannot use the dollar. So a lot of people, not me, but a lot of people more important than me are saying, wait a minute, it's not supposed to be that way. So the Russians and the Chinese and the Brazilians and the Indians and the Iranians and many other people are looking now to find a competitor to the dollar, and they will. Well, if I've had any success, it's usually been by finding things that are cheap, which means that they're ignored. People don't care about them. Where there's positive change taking place, And if you can find something that's cheap or there's change taking place, chances, and you do your research to know you're right, chances are you'll make some money. I'm pretty lazy there. I don't like trading. Trading is hard work, and I'm not very good at it. So I just try to find things that I'm going to own a long time because I'm so lazy. But if I've done my research and found the right things, then I can own them a long time. I have to maintain them, of course. I have to stay up to date. But that is a way that I've had some success. Oh gosh, I bought my first gold in 1981. It was 71. It was still illegal for Americans to own gold. I bought some in Canada and some in Switzerland. It didn't tell you. I could see the change coming, I thought, and it became legal for Americans to own gold. So I own some gold. I own some silver. Dave, I'm an old peasant, and all of us old peasants know when things go wrong, you better have some gold under the bed. You better have some silver in the closet, because when things go bad, everybody will accept your gold and silver. They may not accept other things, but they will accept your gold and silver. It's always happened. I hope that if it happens again and we have a last gasp, a blow off for gold and silver, that I'm smart enough to sell if it gets that vigorous. I don't want to sell. I want to leave it to my children. But if we do have a wild blow-off, you have to sell. You have to sell blow-offs. So, but at the moment, I have no intention and no hope to sell my gold and silver. It's not my first rodeo, Dave. I've seen this before, and it's starting to happening again. Now, I don't know when they're going to ring the bell and say, okay, guys, it's over. What I have been doing is I have cut back enormously. I don't have many equities that I own these days. I own a few commodities, agriculture. I own some gold. I own some silver, but I've owned gold and silver for years, and I hope that I'm going to pass it on to my children so that someday they will have some gold and silver. I mean, these are things that have classically stood the test of time. Who knows? Maybe this time it's different. Maybe this time nobody will care about gold and silver or real assets, but they always have. So that's how I'm playing. I'm not selling short yet. And the reason I'm not selling short yet is because often in the very last days, you have a huge blow-off. I don't know what else you call it, the blow-off, where everything, or at least many things, just go straight up every day. In 1999, the NASDAQ went up, doubled in 6 months at the end. It just, people go nuts when things have been going on a long time. So that's why I'm not selling short yet. Now, who knows? Maybe I'll get it right. Maybe I won't. But I do plan to sell short at somewhere in the foreseeable future.